Coming along. He's getting the scheme down. He's made plays like everybody else back there, and there's a few tests that come up during the preseason. Tuesday night was one. The other three preseason games and practices will be others. So he's got a chance to make it.
He's got a good chance to make it. There probably isn't two bigger differences in stories than Shiloh Sanders and Cam Ward. Obviously, Cam Ward's someone who struggled through adversity to get to where he has to put together that season in Miami to ultimately become the #1 overall pick. Some people say the least covered #1 overall pick, but hey, you can see I made plenty of videos about my man Cam Ward, even though I got beef with Titans fans. We ain't gonna start it today. And then you have Shiloh Sanders, the undrafted free agent that when I was making videos about Colorado last season, in the middle of the season, everybody was telling me, hey man, that's not even an NFL player. Now, to be fair to y'all who said that, he did go undrafted, did get signed with the Buccaneers. Rondé Barber said we wouldn't be talking about him unless he had Sanders on the back of his name. Well, today he had his first opportunity to really show it. He's been having some decent glimpses in the preseason. He's been showing some stuff, but hey, what is that? That's not real football. But today, he actually had a nice executed blitz. He was in on a few tackles and he played a lot of reps. Honestly, the game is still going on. His last rep got short because someone else got a pick, but he seemingly was in the right space at the right time. He was helping with a bunch of tackles. We're going to get into some of the film and talk about what he did. And then on the Cam Ward side, right, the #1 overall pick who has a lot of high expectations, only had 8 pass attempts. It was 5 for 8, 67 yards, 89.1 rating. And I have some fan videos like we love to see from that. But again, finishing the Shiloh Sanders story, I think the thing that captivates Shiloh Sanders is this right here. This is Shiloh Sanders. Again, we say one doesn't get any recognition. The other is already a fan favorite in Tampa Bay, playing catch with the fans, integrating himself with the culture, and integrating himself with the local Tampa Bay people, right? And maybe that's just a Sanders thing. Y'all know what Shador be doing out there in Cleveland. So, again, the stories are different. Cam Ward has the luxury, some people could call it, or maybe the pressure of having to solely focus on football, whereas Shiloh Sanders is doing a lot of things in between to be a locker room guy as well as show up in the community too. And I really do think it's paying dividends. Like I said, yeah, feel me? Not only with the chemistry, but like I said, he got a lot of burn. He got a lot of play. And this is the last thing, Todd Bowles had to say about Shiloh Sanders.
He's coming along. He's getting the scheme down. He's made plays like everybody else back there, and there's a few tests that come up during the preseason. Tuesday night was one. The other three preseason games and practices will be others. So he's got a chance to make it.
Okay, so from the head coach himself, hey, he's got a good chance to make it. And again, look, it goes a little bit beyond just football, again, with Shiloh Sanders. As much as I love Cam Ward, and we're going to speak to the dichotomy, not just the dichotomy of coverage, right? Because clearly Shiloh is probably getting a lot more posts than Cam Ward, but then the dichotomy of expectation, right? If Shiloh Sanders just makes a 53-man roster, I got to be honest with you, we're going to be excited. We're going to be jumping up and down. We're going to be absolutely ecstatic, right? Because in the middle of the season, most people thought he was an NFL player. We followed his journey. We followed him grind his way just to get his 40 time down to be an NFL safety, right? And now he's competing as the 4th string safety, right, in the world where people like J.J. Roberts are making plays in the preseason. Everybody else is making plays in the preseason, and although, like I said, Shiloh didn't make any mistakes, this was the only real play he made. But again, maximizing opportunities because he was playing a lot of midfield safety. He's on the strong safety. He played a little bit in the box, but he was a lot of, hey, he was the single high safety on cover 1 looks. He was one of the 2 safeties, right? He was the center field safety, deep safety. Like, he was doing a lot of stuff that even at the bare minimum, people said Shiloh can't do. So this right here is his bread and butter. Obviously, we can't play it in full, but what I can do, you know what I'm saying? I can, whoa, not too much. I can slow it down just a little bit, as you see, firmly planted here. Now, I do want to talk about this again. We don't have a lot of film from this, but this is something that coming into it, I was like, hey, where does Shiloh, how can he make an impact in the NFL, right? And I was the first to say, look, even though he's not the biggest and baddest, he is fearless, right? We've seen this with the Tyrann Mathieu. We've seen these with the maybe not the tallest, biggest, but people who are fearless in the box can do a lot of stuff. So here he is with a little Kyle Hamilton impression, right? Kyle Hamilton has been getting paid, is considered one of the best, if not the best safety in the league, from doing things like this, having the range, right, to come walk down. And again, we talk about speed, we talk about distance. Edge rushers from wide 9 struggle to get to the quarterback. So he's out here in like a 12, right? He's outside. There's a slide this way too, right? And you're going to see him absolutely peel back, right? And if you don't know, if you've never played football, if you've never sacked, because, specifically sacking, maybe if you're only a linebacker, maybe you only played offense, it's tricky to sack a quarterback, even trickier to sack a quarterback when he's giving you a fake and when he's giving you a boot, right? So there's something you have to attack the outside shoulder. This takes a lot of discipline. So first things first, let's just look at his track, right? He gives you that fake action. You see the offensive lines giving you, hey, run. You're gonna get somebody towards you, right? These are all signs of run. Obviously, a fake run. You're gonna get a tight end coming towards you, right? So a puller, that's gonna imply something. You're gonna have everyone blocking down one way. That implies run, right? And then you have obviously the quarterback who's gonna fake a pitch. So you see his trajectory. His trajectory is, oh, okay, I'm on the backside of a pitch. But then watch his hips, watch his body. 1, 2, oh. And then you see he immediately recognizes it. And what does he do? He has the speed and wherewithal to, immediately, let me course correct. Look at the flexibility in them ankles. They bending up. And although this is not a sack, man, he had to get that ball off because Shiloh was right in his face. And, that is a forced incompletion if I've ever seen, because I guarantee if he didn't have that Shiloh helmet underneath his arm, he might be able to make that completion. He drives through. No, no roughing the passer. Good work, Shiloh. He gets up. He's feeling himself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. So nothing crazy for Shiloh. Again, he was in on a bunch of tackles. I think the biggest takeaway from Shiloh Sanders is that he was really playing the game comfortable, right? It didn't look like he was a guy that was trying to be a safety or he needs to be a nickel guy. Now, when he played in the box, he looked good. He was instinctual, like as I just showed you. When he was in the box, he was fiery there. He was finding ways. He was still laying hits on people. He had a couple assisted tackles. Actually, let me see if I can get the official box score to see like what they counted as tackles and what they didn't. All right, got the official box score. And like I said, J.J. Roberts, if I am correct, and I'm not going to have to refact check myself, I'm pretty sure this is the undrafted free agent out of Marshall, who's also playing strong safety. As you can see, 5 total tackles, 4 solo tackles, 2 pass deflections. So he was flying around. Now, again, he is the highly coveted guy. He didn't have the injuries like Shiloh had. So it's a little more context there. They're already high on him. So it's a different game than Shiloh, who's more just like a, hey, undrafted guy. It is what it is. So Shiloh Sanders has one solo tackle. It says he has no assisted. I was literally looking at it and it had multiple assists here. So I'm telling you, he was on multiple assists, and the fact that they gave him a solo tackle, that's good. So he has a solo tackle, no pass deflections, but a quarterback hit, and I think that's pretty impactful. So that's what the box score is looking like. Again, this is just the first day of camp. So the biggest thing is, hey, you didn't make no mistakes. You didn't make yourself look silly. Shout out to Shiloh Sanders. No matter what, it's going to be a fan favorite, whether it's a 53-man roster, practice squad, or maybe another venture. It's going to be fun to continue to follow Shiloh Sanders in his journey of football. So the man that he played against, he did not play against Cam Ward. Because obviously he was with the ones. Didn't get a lot of burn, but we saw a lot of the things that I think Cam Ward has been known for. Right now, we're gonna actually watch these, but just let them play in the background while I yap about what I saw. And what I saw was, whether it's Jackson Dart, shout out to him. We're going to do a video on him. He had a good day. We got to give him his credit. Whether it's even Shador, where I thought that, hey, you could see him settle into the game and then become that guy. With Cam, it felt like that was the dude who was playing Miami. That's the dude who was taking snaps just 8 months ago at Miami. That's the same dude, even kill, right? You saw him put the ball in some dangerous places, right? There was a clear pick that it just should have been a pick, right? The guy just dropped it. And that goes from, like I've talked about with Cam Ward, look, he's a gunslinger. Like I know people don't want to put that name on him. I don't know why. I think people are calling him everything else except a gunslinger. And the thing about being a gunslinger is you live and die by it, right? And he's gonna throw some picks. I think Cam Ward is gonna have a high pick season. It's gonna look like Jameis Winston, right? Except he's gonna have way more touchdowns than interceptions. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but I think he's gonna throw a lot of picks. I think he's gonna put the ball in a lot of dangerous places. But again, like I talk about, he's got the arm that the more he tests it, he gonna figure it out. He gonna figure out how to hit that pass. He probably just didn't give it enough gas. Okay, yeah, he's gonna figure it out. But stuff underneath was good. The sidearm was there. He looked comfortable with what he was doing. Him and Calvin Ridley connected for 50 yards of the 65 yards of his throwing yards in that one drive. So I mean, I think a lot to be excited about if you're a Titans fan. And here are some of the drives. Shout out again to the Phenomenal Fans. I believe this is his first completion. He's going to roll left, boop, and then absolute dot. No, this isn't his first completion, but this is an absolute dot to Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley, a route savant, a real veteran in the league, great speed, somebody that you would love to have on your team as a young quarterback, right? And then here we go again, underneath there, right? Simple, easy, smooth. And like I said, you can see the throwing motion. You can see the velocity. Like he is, I mean, that thing coming off, man. That thing coming off like a missile, boy. That thing coming off like a missile. A few more passes here we're going to get into. Here he is setting up, and he's going to roll as well, showing, again, the legs are more than available there. Just has to throw the ball away. Again, a rookie looking like a rookie trying to figure it out, still trying to maintain. I think this was his first completion in the NFL. He's going to set up 1, 2, 3, get to the top, drift a little bit, look right, look left, boom, find his guy, Calvin Ridley. And you can see the thing about, whether you say this is bad on Shador or bad on Cam, good on Cam Ward, right? We can talk about pocket presence. He don't got pocket presence. He got pocket calmness. He just, might as well set up a chair, might as well kick back because he's having a great time and he just trusts this pocket. He trusts this protection. Stand strong. I'm going to find, if you give Cam Ward enough time, he's going to gas you. He's going to find that soft spot in the defense, and I think Calvin really does a great job helping as well. Here is that first completion, again, from a fan perspective as well. A little bit of play action. He sets up, patience, and then you see him kind of hitch up. He has such a crazy, look at where I want dog. He's an anomaly. He really is. Look at how he throws it. It's like Kyler Murray-esque, right? So he winds up and he hitches. You see what he does? And I've been very not skeptical, but I've been very critical because he doesn't use his lower body a lot in creating velocity, right? If he would have transferred his weight right here and then pushed it, I would have been like, oh, he's using, mostly his lower body. No, he is again, he does get to the torque there at the end, but he just drops his arm so low. He almost he drops into it. It's like he drops and then it's hard to describe, but this first step right here, instead of him stepping into the throw, that's not what he's doing. He's actually winding his base. As you see, he scooches his foot forward, drops his level, and now, throws a baseball, dog. That thing, look how that thing curves, dog. This is different. This is, woo. Hey, man, shout out to Cam Ward. Shout out to Shiloh Sanders. I'm going to be monitoring, obviously, these guys. Obviously, next video, they're going to get their own video, but this is just interesting. We had a lot of, combo. So, next time Cam's going to get his own video. Shiloh will get his own video. Thought this was just dope to check in on both of them. They're doing big things, great things, phenomenal things, man. Comment down below if you're a Titans fan. I said nothing about them Oilers uniforms. Hey, I'm growing. We growing, you and me. And then, of course, my Shiloh people, if you don't love Shiloh, I don't know why you ain't here. We love the story. Love to see the perspective of the quote-unquote Nepo babies through somebody who's really just grinding and trying to find every single way to get an opportunity. So y'all continue to be great. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like it if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you like football content of all shapes, forms, fashions, and factories. Continue to be great. We'll see you next time. Peace.